What's going on, y'all? Peace and blessings. Sorry for the delay. We here. We are here, and we are ready to go. To some had to do some last minute things, but this is not going to be a long live. I just want to talk about some things here. So, Trump and Elon's endgame of Project Stargate. Now, I was thinking about this today. I was thinking about it because people don't realize they don't know the history behind how the progression of all these events um, point in the same agenda. So today I'm just going to go over it. I'm going to go over a few things that some people may or may not know about. So let me do a few things here. All right. Everybody's familiar with Neuralink, right? That's Elon Musk's brain chips that he wants to put in everybody's brains. And I'm just going to share a few things with you all that may interest you. So I'm gonna start with, it doesn't matter the order I go in. So let me share my screen. Yeah, please hit the like button, like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, like, share, and subscribe. And the issue what I have with secular politics is about ontology. And I'm gonna explain this in a second. So let me pull this up. I tried to play the trailer. I don't know if it play. Did the trailer play? I tried to put a trailer on this and I had some issues. So I don't know if it worked or not. You know how it is. Things go wrong. So let me see. Make sure I can see everybody. What's going on, y'all? Peace and blessings, y'all. I might go live again this evening. So y'all stay tuned on my backup channel. Oh, no trailer? Oh man, it didn't play. That's okay. I'll just go to Rumble. I uploaded it to Rumble just in case. So let me do a back. Let me show my little backup plan real quick. Okay, but let me pull this off real quick. All right. So let me pull up Rumble. And I'm just going to show you what I wanted you to see on a trailer. Because I don't know. YouTube, man. YouTube is a hater. I mean, the internet is a hater when you're exposing this agenda, man. They hate on you on a different level. And it's to be expected. But it's just annoying. It's a nuisance. Let me say that much. All right, so I'm gonna pull it up on here so we can still watch it. I had to. Okay, perfect. All right, so let me try this again. All right, let me share. I'm gonna start with this. I'm gonna play this. I wanted it to be the trailer, but since the internet, because I think the shadow banning is more than just YouTube. It's the internet. It's the actual signal. They suppress the actual bandwidth signal. I mean, people don't understand. Algorithmic suppression is like low level stuff. This is when they really don't want you to talk, they get on a high level. All right, so I want to make sure everybody can see what I just shared here. But while we wait for this, there it is. Okay, good. This is what I wanted to share. And my phone is about to die, but I have my charger. So everything is in place. What's going on, Katie Ray? Peace and blessings. Freedom File, Rebecca Lynn, Daniel Wise, excuse me. Cozy Toads, Freedom File, Daryl Calhoun, what's going on? Knight Rider, what's going on? He said Trump was sent a letter from the Sanhedrin. Yeah, I saw that. Something about universal moral law. A lot of people call this the Noahide laws. Yeah, I saw that too. I'm trust me, I see a lot. I'm aware of it, and I will talk about that. I appreciate you coming through, Daniel Wise. He saw me on Brother Tony's channel, a minute to midnight. Y'all definitely check out Brother Tony from A Minute to Midnight. He does great videos, great guests, great interviews, exposing what's happening in this world. Thank you, Daryl, for exposing for dropping the link in there. Tita, what's going on? Gigi, I'm just going down. Joy, what's going on? Yahuwah Hamashiach, what's going on? Yeshua Hamashiach. Wayne Wallace, Alan Williams, Easy, Bari, what's going on? Mike, what's going on? Follower of Jesus Christ. Hello, everyone. Just out of curiosity, what is everyone's thoughts on the Second Amendment? Here's the thing, man. You know, sometimes it's really a heart issue. Now, we know in Christ, we're to be harmless, wise as serpent, but harmless as doves. Although your ability to protect your family, your ability to protect your property, and defend yourself, it's a weird place because we don't live in a biblical society. We are in Christ. We are biblical people. Within a secular society. So it's a lot of conflation going on. Honestly, people would love, to not have to be violent to defend themselves. But, God looks at the heart and intent of anything you do. Now, if you're out here trying to murder people and rob people and do that, because honestly, a gun is just a tool. People used to use it for hunting, and such like that. But to defend yourself. Now, personally, God forbid, no one would ever want to be in a situation where you have to take the life or even have to fire a weapon. That's not our intent here. But to defend your family, protect your property, sometimes you just have to be compassionate and let God deal with it, how he's going to judge the hearts of individuals. I'm not going to say that someone who has a firearm and wants to protect his loved ones and his property has a sinful heart and mind. God will judge the motive and intent of how you use anything around you. What's going on, Gary Galushka? Child of the King, what's going on? She smiles at the future. Sharon Brown, what's going on? Youngblood, peace and blessings. So personally, I don't fault people for having a firearm to protect their families and defend themselves. Honestly, I just don't. Now, personally, it's an individual. We all stand before God. He will weigh our hearts. So don't look at people for your appearance and the superficial perspective that we have about what people do. God's going to look at the inward man. Back in Jesus' time, they had swords, and there was a time where Jesus says, "Don't take a sword." Then he says, "Take a sword." So look, I'm not talking about the sword of the word. I'm talking about when they actually had a sword. Peter had a sword, and he chopped off the Roman guard's ear, and Jesus rebuked him and said, "Hey, and Jesus rebuked him because this was fulfillment of prophecy." Jesus knew that he had to be taken by the Romans and crucified, and Peter was going against his will. So just, kind of giving you a round the way view of things before we get started. Corey G, what's going on? Dudley Les, what's going on? Yes, God has definitely opened my eyes and many of you all's as well. Kev R, man, y'all in here today, man. Warrior to the end. What's going on? All right, let's get to it, y'all. So like I said, don't be quick to just assume the worst because, people have different reasons and different things that God will judge about why we do what we do. So let me pull this up. Let me make sure y'all can hear this. So let me know if y'all can hear. I'm going to do a test.
Hey, so I just got back from this holiday trip.
Uh-oh.
I swear, true story. I got really
get this
sick.
off. Sorry about this, y'all.
Trip.
All right.
So we got a new sponsor.
No offense, but if you're paying more than $30 per month on car insurance,
in the world is going here?
You're getting ripped off. Guys, so everyone...
But sorry about that, y'all. I don't know what's going on with Rumble. Trying to get me hit over here. Okay, you can hear it. Audio good. All right, y'all, let's check it out. Now, this was a trailer that I wanted, so I'm gonna play this.
But can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains, and I can immediately feel, because you all will have implants, and we measure your brain waves, and I can immediately tell you how the people react, or I can feel how the people react to your answers. Is it imaginable?
The difference of this fourth industrial revolution is it doesn't change what you are.
Oh no, Flower Garden. I'm not definitely I'm for people defending their loved ones. Let me clarify that. Definitely for people defending their loved ones. I'm just telling people that they were just talking about the Second Amendment. Not I brought up defense because that's the only situation I think warrants violence. And I say violence not with the intent to do harm, but to protect yourself. So let me clarify that. I brought up self-defense. The Second Amendment in a broad way includes a lot of other things. And everybody is not about self-defense. Some people are out here doing their part of the problem. So that's why I had to talk about it. Let's continue.
Well, doing it changes you. If you take a genetic editing,
right.
Just as an example, it's you who are changed, and of course this has a big impact on your identity.
Yeah. And office.
We have had a tremendous success.
Yeah, great success.
And this gentleman, as you know, he's done a great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so
But
I just want everybody to see that. Now, everybody should have seen that, right? Matter of fact, let me end it on a certain clip because I want people to see this. Okay, let's put it right there. Now, we all know that Trump introduced Project Stargate, which is let me pull it up. AI infrastructure, right? $500 billion. As much as they say that, the government has to be efficient about spending money because the money is not going back to the people, I guarantee you, $500 billion will not touch any of our hands. All right. That is being poured into a artificial intelligence. That's a fake construct of a fake intelligence to use their technology to control and to create this digital grid or digital prison, where they can put society within a tight construct to control literally everything you do, how you do business, how you interact in the society, a whole bunch of things. And ontologically, this is not bringing you back to the image of God. This is taking you away from the image of God. So I said this before, so I'm going to say it again, how they moralize things, because Trump promotes himself as some kind of fake Christian in name only. And the reason that they have this I hate that they commandeer and they misappropriate the word Christian. Now, let me make this clear. When a secular political system uses the word Christian, they're not having any reference to the Bible. They're using the word to misappropriate this for people who are lost and who are secularized, to give themselves a self-righteous, false virtuous view of their wicked agenda. It's like whitewashing some wickedness. They want to whitewash it. They want to put a label on it to deflect from the original intent, which is nefarious, which is satanic. What's going on in the mercy seat? Let me see. I'm just trying to read through here, because this is terrible, y'all. This is absolutely terrible what we're seeing here. What's going on, SS? Yep. All right, good. Seems like we're all on the same page here. Google Willow chip. Uh-oh. Let's see. Willow chip. Let me pull this up. Let me go back out of here. And let me go back in here. Oh, you know what? Let's also do this. I want to bring up something that I brought up before. Since I realize I can show it. Let me show it here. Now let me know let me know if you can hear this.
You say, what is the goal of Doge and I think a significant part of this of presidency is to restore.
Can you hear this? Yeah, can everyone hear this? Okay, great.
Or democracy. This may seem like, well, aren't we in a democracy? Well, if you don't have a feedback loop, FX would have to. If you sorry, so I tell you, gravitas can be difficult sometimes. If there's not a good feedback loop from the people to the government, and if you have rule of the bureaucrat, if the bureaucracy is in charge, and then what meaning does democracy actually have? If the people cannot vote and have their will be decided by their elected representatives in the form of the president and the Senate and the House.
Now keep in mind, he is the bureaucrat he's talking about. He uses the term bureaucrat like he's not actually talking about himself. He's projecting, and he's acting like he's separate from what he's accusing others have been doing. He's just doing it more authoritatively. He's not even elected. He's talking about these unelected people. Nobody elected Elon Musk. He was appointed to a position that the people had no bearing on him doing. You think that all these federal workers of the federal government, if they knew that Elon Musk was going to be in there and just gut out the entire federal government, nobody wanted this. And let me tell you, them shrinking the federal government is not going to make it more efficient, nor going to stop wasteful spending. This is a transition. They're gaslighting you to think that, okay, let's get rid of all this money, and we're just going to redirect the money into artificial intelligence, algorithms, automation, robots, and other biotechnology things that are very satanic and nefarious. We're just redirecting the money. The money will never get to the people. Trump has already said that inflation is going to continue to skyrocket. I mean, if you went to I went to the grocery store this morning. Everything is going up. Like almost every time I go there, it's literally some things are going up $1 or 50 cents every time I walk in the store. He talked all this lip service. I'm going to make sure we're going to get these things down. And now he's talking about, I don't know if there's going to be some pain. Y'all remember? I have a short where Trump says there's going to be some pain. He wasn't talking about pain affecting him and his billionaire friends. He was talking about pain being directed to the people that he lied and claims to represent. What's going on, Alda? Well, I'm exhausted too. And this is why we expose the wickedness and we preach the truth to those who are willing to receive it. We understand that some people are just as prideful and self-centered and lost as these satanic officials. So the blind will lead the blind. Trump and Elon and all these people have been raised up to judge the wicked, the blind leading the blind. But see, we are here. There are people here. And there are other people who are confused. They see a lot of things that are inconsistent, that don't make sense. And they're waiting for people who are bold enough, like us, who are not scared or discouraged from an algorithm that wants you to only think politically or wants you to be concerned about foolishness and distractions. But there are people who are going to call this out for the foolishness and the lies and deception that it always was. The whole political system, the left and the right, is all garbage. There's only one party with two different dialectics, scripted to make one side create issues, socially engineer issues, so the other side can be the false hero and offer their false solutions and nefarious agendas in a progression where both the left and the right synergistically are necessary to promote their common satanic agenda, which is to transition into this beast system, technocratic society that we see happening right now. What's going on, Diana, Ryan? Peace and blessings. Felix, what's going on? Red Storm. I got a lot to show you all, so stay tuned, y'all. I'm gonna try not to make this too long, but I want to get through some things here. So I appreciate y'all. Again, please hit the like button. Y'all know over here, they don't want us to be seen. They don't want this to get out. So hit the like button, like, share, and subscribe, because there are not many channels who are going to expose this lie outside of the secular political paradigm. We're not on the left. We're not on the right. We're not in any facet of the secular political paradigm. We expose this world from a biblical worldview. And we see that the problem in this world is spiritual, which means that it begins in the sinful heart. And this is why people are blind, because the secular satanic world exploits lost, spiritually dead people. And it caters to their wicked heart, gaslighting them by fleshly desires and worldly ambitions that will just make them a willing participant through worshiping of the world to collude with this agenda. A lot of people are thinking this is good. They like to see there's a large number of people who think that what Trump and Elon are doing is good because of the scripted theatrics that the CIA Operation Mockingbird media is portraying. And people don't realize none of what you're seeing is going to translate into a practical application to actually do anything good in the world. Him removing all these federal workers and all this, there is no morality. These people are all secular. They're not, even the word conservative in a secular worldview has no value. They're not. They need to just divorce themselves away from anything Christian and biblical and stop using it, but they don't, because they're satanic. And the true way these people can be antichrist is they have to slander the truth, because they can't do anything against it. So they just distort it and misrepresent it through lies and deceptions. All right, let's continue.
Then we don't live in a democracy. We live in a bureaucracy. So it's incredibly important that we close that feedback loop, we fix that feedback loop, and that the public's elected representatives, the president, the House, and the Senate, decide what happens, as opposed to a large unelected bureaucracy. This is not to say that there aren't some good.
You see what he said? He's talking about himself. Nobody elected him. Why does he have his son up there in the press conference in the White House? The world's richest man can't have nobody watch his child while he's addressing a very real situation where he's making actions that affect real people.
There are good people who are in the federal bureaucracy, but you can't have an autonomous federal bureaucracy. You have to have one that's responsive to the people.
Also, I saw someone make a comment, and I agree with them. The only reason he's the world's richest man is because the federal government invested through contracts in his businesses. Or let me put this another way. His businesses are just the federal government rebranded through private industry. So it's all right for the government to make him rich and give everybody his electric cars that set on fire, that are dumb looking and inefficient. Because, plugging up electric cars, people don't realize plugging in an electric car is still plugging it into the power grid that's running on fossil fuels. And this whole fossil fuel deception and lie is all a lie too. They just want you to believe that oil and all these resources are scarce and all this. They have to script this in your mind. Meanwhile, his cars are just plugging into the same grid. And those lithium batteries that they put in these electric vehicles, they have to tear down mountains, destroy the whole ecological environment to get just a little bit of lithium. And I know people have talked about what's happening in North Carolina, what's happening around the country, where weather modification mysteriously targets certain places where the federal government has an invested interest through eminent domain to get lithium out of the earth. And and to do what? To build this electrified society. The money's not going to get him far at all. I agree with you. What profit a man to gain the whole wide world and lose his soul? American Negro News. What's going on, brother? Follower of Jesus Christ. What's going on, Gypsies? And all I got to say is, look, I get what people are saying about this, but we have to look at this comprehensively. It sounds good. And I'm not telling people that, you know, some of these things don't sound good, but it's all lip service and deflection. Isn't the cost of living is going to skyrocket? I mean, just think about all the promises that were made. It's going to be more money in your pocket. It's going to be easier to live and all these things, right? Now, first of all, we have not yet to see an inch of that. Inflation is still skyrocketing. Cost of living skyrocketing. People are losing their jobs, not creating jobs. And honestly, I'm going to be real with you. I think that people who are probationary in the federal government are owed that chance. I don't think that should be stripped away from them when they can send money for all this other stuff, AI infrastructure. We can't validate anything. We don't even know the military overcharges for everything they have. They waste money. And even when if he puts everything on the blockchain, we still have to trust that what he's showing us is real. Remember, we can't tell what's real. That's the problem with this whole illusion of politics. You don't know what's real. You just know what's real in terms of what you're living. We know the Federal Reserve is a private company. We know that NASA is some kind of fake private company disguising itself as a government agency, promoting all kinds of lies and deceptions. So much of this entire structure of this world is a lie and is fake. They tell you about the quote unquote Space Force, but what that money is going to is building the digital artificial intelligence infrastructure on Earth. That's what it's doing. It's not doing anything in their theoretical outer space. It's doing everything here on Earth. Joyce says the unemployment rate is at the Great Depression level, 23%, close to 25. Canadian Bro TV, what's going on? Oh yeah, we're going to talk about Web 3.0. Yeah, look, I'm already there.
That's the whole point of a democracy. And if you look,
a democracy never existed anytime in this country. That word needs to stop being used. It's a trigger word for people who are ignorant of the reality.
if you asked the founders today and said, what do you think of the way things have turned out? Well, we have this unelected, fourth unconstitutional branch of government, which is the bureaucracy, which has, in a lot of ways, currently more power than any elected representative. And this is not something that people want, and it's not. It does not match the will of people. So it's just something we've got to fix. And we've also got to address the deficit. So we've got a $2 trillion deficit, and if we don't do something about this deficit, the country's going bankrupt. I mean, it's really astounding.
A country's going bankrupt that has the world's richest man. This listen to what he's saying. Country's going bankrupt, but yet most of the wealth is in people who work for the government and who are contracting with the government. Just let that sink in. You got Gates, Musk, Bezos, Peter Thiel, Zuckerberg, you name it. All these people, all the people connected to JD Vance, Trump, bankrupt for us, but prosperous for them. Their taxes are little to none. Ours continue to go up. Now, Trump is making all these things. He's going to bring down taxes on, what do you say, the tip tax. Let me tell you about the tip tax. I saw the tax code that he's claiming he's going to do. He's going to eliminate tax on tips, right? But what he's not telling you that when he cuts off the money, a lot of these jobs, a lot of these businesses are going to disappear. So they're not going to be as much of a workforce to get tips. So there's going to be more unemployed people for the few people that remain in the tip industry to get tips. He's going to sabotage several industries that eliminates millions of people, but the people that are left may have tax-free tips. And then what he doesn't tell you is a lot of things are going to expire, and he's just really breaking even. He's not going to eliminate things. The things that were in place by the Biden administration are going to expire, and all he's doing is replacing them. So there's not going to be any net change. It's all like a sleight of hand, but people don't know.
That the interest payments alone.
Yep, you're right, Canadian Bro TV. There will be no workforce. Why? There will be no workforce because hold on, let me do something real quick. I need to pull this up. Trump says out of his own mouth that he wants to get rid of the federal government altogether. He wants everybody in the private sector. That is pretty much as totalitarian as you can get. What he means by the private sector is you're going to be under authoritative rule, ruled by technology. He wants you in the private sector because that's what his artificial intelligence, blockchain, quantum blockchain technology, algorithms, what else? Automation, robotics. That's where this stuff will rule. In the private sector, they're going to get rid of people anyway. We already see people. How many people who work for corporations have already lost their jobs? Google, Facebook, Amazon, they're laying off tens of thousands of people to do what? Replacing them with robotics, automation, and algorithms to do their job. The private sector was the first people to get rid of a lot of people. The government is just lagging behind and catching up. So again, lies and deception. Put everybody in the private sector that has already trimmed itself down. What's going on, Malachi Wonton? Yeah, it says the unemployment rate is 4% now. You can look outside and just look at the amount of people who are homeless, who are struggling, people we know in our families, our friends, people we see, people we have associations with. We know, like I said, you have to trust these percentages, their research, their numbers. All this stuff requires a level of faith. The question is, who do you believe? You believe this world, or you believe in the creator who warned you about this world, who told you not to love anything in the world, not to trust anything in the world, not to have fellowship, friendship, conformity with anything in the world? Who do you love? Who do you trust? What's going on, brother? The Speak Uneasy. What's going on, bro? Yeah, check out the brother Speak Uneasy. He does live streams as well. All right, I'm going to show you something. Look at this, Security 2040. Now we know 2030 sustainable development, United Nations 2030. Everybody heard about Agenda 21. They rebranded it Agenda 2030. We're in 2025, and here we got Security 2040. Right now, I want you to see this. Now this is by the RAND organization. And the RAND organization is the same people who have this Internet of Bodies, our connected future. Because there's a correlation between why Elon Musk, the transhumanist technocrat who has Neuralink to put chips in your brains, is now trying to make the government more efficient. I want people to see where this is going. What is the end game of putting a transhumanist in the government with this level of influence? That efficiency is the metric of efficiency is going to be determined by a transhumanist who is going to rely on artificial intelligence. I want that to sink in. When they say efficient, they're not thinking efficient to the betterment of people. They're thinking about efficient versus technology taking over society to control the people. Yes, Elon Musk is going to make the government more efficient in controlling you with technology. That's where the efficiency is coming in. So hold on one second. So I'm going to read this. This is brain-computer interfaces. Now, brain-computer interface is basically what Neuralink is. Now, let me tell you, Elon Musk has the kind that goes in your brain. That's the in your brain. That's the surgical. But I want you to know they have a non-surgical, non-invasive brain-computer interface. Somehow it's going to be something that goes on. I don't know. It's like it's not going to be inside your actual brain, but I think it's like in your scalp. And they call it like less evasive, non-surgical, because it's like the surgery is such minor. It's like how people did with the RFID, right? It kind of goes under the skin. It's not necessarily in your muscle, but it's under the skin. Well, they're trying to do the same thing with the brain computer interfaces, which is basically what Neuralink is. Now, this is brain computer interfaces is a term that if you want to look up this technology, look it up by that. Don't put in chip in the brain. Don't put in Neuralink, because you're not going to get the government application about what they're doing. Now here, we're going to go through a lot. What's going on, Gillespie? Welcome. Please hit the like button, like, share, and subscribe. Now look at this. People think that Elon brain chips are just going to be in his Neuralink company. But look at this. Brain computer interfaces, U.S. military applications and implications. You think that Elon is just going to have a private company? No, Elon is making the government his private company. This is what you don't understand. He literally wants to get rid of the federal government as we know it. Because first of all, the federal government, let me tell people I have not been ignorant. The federal government has always been ran by private corporations because it is a corporation. It's just labeled and branded as some kind of so-called elected and selected governing body. That's the smokescreen. But the truth is, it's always been private companies. They're ran by satanic families and all this stuff. And that put their people in position in this false government illusion to get you to believe, or those who trust the world, that these people have your best interests at heart, and they don't. 2020 didn't teach you anything. These people don't care about you. They'll tell you to put something in your body, and they don't care about what happens afterwards. And they actually scripted the law that you have very limited recourse because you signed up for it. It's all about coercion. What's going on? A sower of seed. So I'm gonna quickly read some of the summary. It says, brain computer interface, BCI, represents an emerging and potentially disruptive area of technology that to date has received minimal public discussion in the defense and national security policy communities. This research considered key areas in the future BCI technologies might be relevant for the warfighters of tomorrow. They're talking about now. It sought to explore the operational value of current and future developments regarding man-machine neural communication. So let me tell you what Elon Musk being at the helm of the U.S. government means. For all you people who think your job is secure at the U.S. government, they're going to bring in new AI-driven computers, right? And these computers are going to be working with people who have their bodies integrated through neural network communications. Basically, they want people who work these new computers that they're going to come out with their minds. And that's going to require you to wear wearable technology, implantable technology, quantum dot technology, all this stuff that they're putting in. Aside from the fact that they want to bring in nanorobotics and graphene things and all this stuff, they're terraforming the body, they're terraforming the environment to get ready to pass frequencies and signals so that people who survive the transition and who believe and trust this deceptive satanic world will integrate into this transhumanist nightmare. And this is just one thing. I'm just surface level right now. I haven't read this. I'm reading this with you all for the first time. I intentionally did it that way because I want us to see for ourselves what's really going on. Again, Here, I'm a Bible believer. My faith is in Jesus Christ biblically because I know that this world is all under the evil one. It's to get people to worship the system so that they can trust the world to gain something in the world at the cost of their soul. The God of this world, Satan, is after your soul. And we have to acknowledge that we are sinners. We have a conscience that testifies of the holy standard and nature of God, that we can know right and wrong, that we, in terms of knowing our wickedness by God's holy standard, that we can understand that we need redemption in a savior outside of ourselves. And then that leads us to seek, to ask, and we find within the word a savior that has been revealed to us in Jesus Christ, God's salvation, because Jesus Christ is God. But let's continue. The project drew from reviews of relevant tech. The project drew from reviews of relevant technical and security literature and discussions with subject matter experts, another term for nobodies, to develop a July 2018 game convening technical and operational experts. Do you know why the gaming industry is so big? If you look on YouTube or any social media, the gaming industry is big. They're putting a lot of this technology in the gaming industry. It started with the Oculus, the wearables. They're and shout out to brother Days of Noah. They're gamifying society where they are conditioning people to embrace this technology as fun, as entertainment, and they're conditioning you to feel comfortable with it. Well, not usually not people who are 40 and over, but definitely the younger people are getting very comfortable with putting phones and watches and smart watches and smart technology and a whole bunch. People are already putting chips in their brains and you know, it's even with the pacemaker. And I'm not saying there's not an application, but let me tell you about the medical aspect of this. They won't tell you that their corruption of the food supply, their environmental toxicity, and their procedures that they give to newborns when they're born are the reason that the body is in a weakened state, immunologically, while people have weak immune systems. But they'll rather sell you a pacemaker than tell you it's the food that you need to detox because of what the government is putting in the environment. You understand what I'm saying? So they I saw a meme one time where the government breaks your leg and then sells you a cane or sells you some kind of assistance after they break your leg. That's what's happening. They are corrupting our biology, and then they're trying to introduce technology as a counterfeit. What's going on, Christy? Now, I'm gonna put all these these links in the description box. But there's a reason why society is being gamified. While they came out with the metaverse, which I think was just a prototype to test to see how people will embrace it. Because remember, this is all psychological warfare. This is all about being conditioned for this technology. So they're testing it to see when they can show you the real technology. The metaverse that they promoted was not even the real. That was a early model prototype of what they already have coming down the line. They're just waiting for people to be psychologically conditioned for it. Movies, predictive programming, like the Minority Report and all these movies, Terminators, that was also predictive programming, conditioning the consciousness of people to embrace such technology as probable and efficient in a secular worldview, not a biblical worldview, but a secular worldview. Now check this out. This is open access government. Now I'm gonna read this. New algorithm aims to enhance brain-computer interface in mental health treatment. Hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. 1 second. All right, I'm back. Man, it's getting windy outside. I don't know. Y'all be safe. The winds are starting to get crazy. It got dark outside. We got a blizzard coming, I think, Wednesday. And now it's 60 degrees right now. They're talking about 50 and 60 miles per hour winds. So hopefully my internet signal will maintain. I'm just giving warning if something happens, because the winds are getting crazy. It's getting crazy dark outside. I don't know if we're about to have a thunderstorm or what. Let me look and check the radar real quick to see if we have a thunderstorm warning, because anytime it gets dark like this, you got to look. So let me check this out, because I know the weather's been crazy. I mean, we have a big storm coming through with thunderstorms and snow and heavy winds. Okay, no thunder. Well, I don't know. It looks like a little thunderstorm maybe about to come through. So if you hear thunder, that's what it is. Might be a little short-term thunderstorm coming through. All right, so let's continue. He said we hit that storm last night. Now it's getting cold. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, we're getting hit. The Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic, the South. That weather modification is crazy. So look at this. BCIs. Y'all remember that term, right? Brain-computer interface. Commercial and government use. Gaming, education, employment, and more. Now, I want people to understand that they put Elon in place because he's representing what the precedents that they're going to set for the rest of society. Everybody's familiar with the 15-minute smart cities, where you have all kinds of AI smart technology and algorithms and blockchains and robotics and automation running the entire cities, right? Well, they're conditioning these technologies to be ran through brain-computer interface or neural communication. So I'm going to read this. Again, if something happens with my signal, we'll pick this up later. It's just crazy windy. So the Post is the third in a fourth series of brain-computer interfaces, providing an overview of technology uses cases, privacy risks, and such. There's a reason why everything's a data collection program. Social media, in my view, is a metadata collection program. It says BCR computer-based systems that directly record, process, or analyze brain-specific neural data and translate these data into outputs. Those outputs can be used as visualizations or aggregates for interpretation, reporting purposes, or commands. And what they don't tell you is that everything will report to the centralized government that they tell you they're shrinking, right? Because when they say they're going to run the government, it's going to be an AI-driven government. That means that the satanic Rothschilds and everybody else are now going to be the ones programming AI to programming it to only give access and privileges to people who comply, to people who are loyal to what they're doing. We saw that in 2020. That's what the mandates was mental conditioning to kind of coerce people to compromise themselves for a job. If you really want to make a hard statement, threaten people's job, their livelihood, with you wanting them to do something with their body. This was a very unprecedented thing. I mean, they've been doing it, subconsciously, because unfortunately a lot of people think it was normal for us to inoculate and do certain procedures to children for school, to be born. And keep in mind that medical field was created by John D. Rockefeller. The same person who created the modern public school system is the same person who created the medical system. So when you see these so-called professionals say, I went to med school, right? I studied in med school and I got my MD. Okay, who wrote the doctrine of these students for these students in med school? Pharmaceutical companies, chemists, not people who care about the thriving the thriving of the human body, but chemists. drug pushers, because the whole idea was to get you on drugs, and drugs is a conduit to technology. Because think about it, drugs is biochemistry, and now the new tech that we have is biochemical manipulation, or they might call it biotechnology. You know, all this manipulation of brain waves with Neuralink and the manipulation of what they call the human genome, the mRNA stuff, which is very theoretical. I don't know exactly. I don't trust the genetic niche of expertise. I think it's kind of weird and spiritual. I don't think it's as much as they know what they're doing outside of they're corrupting our natural design so that people who survive can be integrated into transhumanist ideology. So I'm gonna come back to this. This is the United States Government Accountability Office. Brain-computer interfaces. This is December 10th, 2024. They want you to think that this technology has only been used in the private sector for people who can't walk, paraplegics, blind people. They always use the less fortunate to sell something, right? They're going to say, oh, we use this technology to help somebody walk. And keep in mind, if you don't know this person, we don't know if this could be whatever. That person could be brain dead and it could be a robot for all we know. We don't know. They're going to show you something you can't trust. We got deep fakes. They probably cloning people and doing all kinds of stuff. Don't trust everything you see. But I'm telling you, they're going to promote it as, look, the man who can't walk can now walk. False miracles, lying wonders. The man who couldn't see can now see. It's going to be sold like that. And a lot of people are going to embrace it because a lot of people have issues. Now listen, it says fast facts. This technology examines. This is a government website. This technology assessment examines systems that are implemented in the brain or worn on the head that let people control electronic devices using brain signals. How long before you think to work at a private industry or government office, you're going to have this technology to work your computer? Forget your access, your key fob, your access, your digital ID is going to be your brain. The end game of digital ID is to make the biometric identification your brain signal. I'm not saying this. We're going to get into the research here. All right. I'm telling you where they're going. So it makes sense that the mark of the beast is going to be something that goes in your head or your right hand. What's going on, Claire? Oh, y'all hear? Oh, can y'all hear the thunder? I knew it was going to thunder. They call it a rain shadow. When it gets dark, all of a sudden, I knew it was going to thunder. Now it says, in clinical trials, these brain-computer interfaces help people with severe disabilities. Did not just say that. Businesses are also investing in developing the technology for entertainment and other uses, hence social media, the gamification of society. These gamers are not being promoted with millions and millions of views. The algorithm is promoting these people to condition them for the technology. There is no real, the views, the subs are all inflated and pushed for people to embrace certain thinking and ideology, right? Who owns sensitive brain data? How to support people with implanted devices over long term? What Medicare and private insurers will cover? So they're already planning this to be subsidized by the government. They don't got no money for you, but they got money to put chips in your brain. And this is a government site. Look at the top here. This is a government site. They want people to see they're using the person in a wheelchair. But I'm gonna show you research from the NIH.gov that this is for able-bodied people, not just paraplegics. They're selling it with people who are disabled but it will be used for able-bodied individuals. This is Forbes magazine. Can't AI predict all the innovations AI will enable? But here are a few. Okay, I want to read this. This is Optimum. This is NIH.gov. Optimum future analysis for identification based on intracranial brain signals with machine learning algorithms. Everybody thought digital ID was just going to be something where your phone is. No, they're going to say that's not secure enough. They're going to say your fingerprints, your iris scans, those are not going to be secure enough. It's the only thing they're going to be secure is your actual brain signal. They're going to say that's the epitome of uniqueness. It says biometrics. Listen, biometrics, example, fingerprints. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Hold on, let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Darn. I'm trying to do it, but it won't. Hold on. All right. Biometrics, fingerprints, the iris, and the face have widely been used to authenticate individuals. Wait for it, y'all. This is big. However, most biometrics are not cancelable, i.e., once these traditional biometrics are cloned or stolen. So now they're saying that somebody could clone your hand, your fingerprint, somebody could clone your iris. So now they're telling you all the biometrics, the way you were, opening your phone, the way you open your computer using your fingerprint. They're not saying that's not secure anymore. That's not secure anymore. That's what they're saying. Government website, everyone. Once these traditional biometrics are cloned or stolen, they cannot be replaced easily. Unlike traditional biometrics, brain biometrics are extremely difficult to clone or forge due to the natural randomness across different individuals. This is huge. This is huge. It says, which makes them an ideal option for identity authentication. Most existing brain biometrics are based on an electroencephalogram. Now imagine opening the internet using your brain signals, not logging in using your biometrics, but your brain signals. Your computer has to read your brain. Now, how's it going to read your brain unless something is interfacing with your brain to connect? It says, which typically demonstrates unstable performances due to the low signal to noise ratio. Thus, in this paper, we propose the use of an intracortical brain signals, which have higher resolution and SNR to realize the construction of high performance brain biometric. So I'm not going to read all of this. I just want you to know there's an end game to having an AI-driven society and government. And the interface between the Internet of Bodies and Internet of Things is going to be your brain. It's not just going to be your fingerprints, your palm, or anything like that. Hold on. What is this? Okay. Here it is right here. This is DARPA. DARPA.mil. DARPA is a Department of Defense Special Divisions program, right? N3, next generation non-surgical neurotechnology. What's going on, Shawana? XC, what's going on? Renee, Dilly Gill, what's going on? Miss Noel P. I appreciate y'all coming through. All right, let's continue. Summary. The next generation non-surgical neurotechnology N3 program aims to develop high-performance bi-directional brain-machine interfaces for able-bodied service members. Remember, they originally promoted this, what do we call it? BCI's, brain-computer interfaces for disabled people, right? But now, what is this? Well, now it says abled body. I'm telling you, people who trust the government are insane. They literally are insane. But they're reprobated. Because when you have a mind, when you do not retain the knowledge of God in your mind, God turns you over to a reprobate, a debased mind, so that you do things that are not convenient. But what is the epitome of not convenient is turning over your biology to a satanic government. That is not convenient. Now listen, it says such interfaces will be enabling technology for diverse national security applications. So they already got national security involved. So for the sake of national security, your brain signals are going to be the most secure way, such as control of unmanned, now they're talking about unmanned aerial vehicles and active cyber defense systems. Yeah, when you deal with computers or teaming with computer systems to successfully multitask during complex military missions. Now they're promoting it for the military, but remember, the internet was originally ARPANET, a DARPA project, and here we are all on the internet. The cell phone was originally a two-way walkie-talkie GPS telemetry device, and now we all have one in our pocket. So whatever the military is doing, they're going to introduce to the public as a commodity so that we can give them more metadata and more control and more regulation. Because when they give us technology, they have to create policy to regulate said technology towards their self-interest, toward their common agenda. It says, whereas the most effective state-of-the-art neural interfaces require surgery to implant electrodes into the brain, N3 technology would not require surgery and would be man-portable, thus making this technology accessible for a far wider population of potential users. So now they're saying, look, you're not gonna have surgery. So now it can go to many people. They're going to put this in everybody. I did a short video about, Trump saying he wanted to get rid of the Department of Education. And then Elon Musk says he wants AI to regulate the Department of Education. And in Louisiana, they now have AI teaching kids. So now they're already setting the stage in a artificial intelligence governance society. Artificial intelligence programmed by Satanists is going to indoctrinate your kids. You thought it was bad when they had LGBT and feminist rhetoric in the school system. Now they're going to be telling your children to just give their whole being through biological systems. Non-invasive neurotechnologies such as the electrophylogram and transcranial direct current stimulation already exist, but do not offer the precision signal resolution. This stuff is being offered like it's the best thing since sliced bread. And we see, y'all know we saw the helicopter and the plane crash. How we know people are not already controlling this stuff with their brain? We can't tell if Biden had a chip in him or if he was even real. We can't tell anything's real. They got technology and artificial intelligence so smooth now, where you can't tell. Everybody notices that these politicians don't even look the same. I mean, their phenotypical features are changing. Like, you can change as you get older, but certain things proportionally shouldn't change. So they don't even look like the same people. It's rumored that these people have on masks. Who knows what's going on? We know about Eargate with Trump, that whole thing. Everybody's familiar with this, right? This is cryptocurrency system using body activity data by Microsoft, Bill Gates. Y'all know the 060606 cryptocurrency system using biometric body activity data, turning your body into a currency. And see, when we become the currency, how you move your body in space is going to be it's going to tokenize you. This is the ultimate goal of social credit system, where how you move your body in compliance through AI governance will determine how valuable you are. So imagine if you didn't say the right things on the Web3 internet. You lose value to move in society because you weren't compliant. You didn't get your neural implant. You use value in society, so now you can't go to the grocery store. You can't access resources, goods, and services because your token, since you're tokenized, your body activity. What is the extent that this can go? Well, if it's controlling your body activity data, what if they decide that they want to not make your heart beat because you're doing criminal activity? So they don't have to send police force after you no more. They hit a button and your heart starts beating because your body activity systems are connected to an artificial intelligence driven society. They don't need a police force. They don't need anything. You understand, this is going to be a solution, a satanic false solution for crime, for the border, for everything. Everybody's going to be so tracked, so traced, so controlled. If you say the wrong thing, you do the wrong thing, hit a button, you stop breathing. No bullets required. And I just want people to understand that I'm talking about the end goal. I'm not talking about, I don't know how much time it's going to take for this stuff to progress. It could be 10 years, 20 years, 5 years, 40 years, 100. I don't know. I'm not going to be one of those people who put a number on it. I know some people think it looks like it's moving fast, and it does. But I don't know. What's going on, Christy Cherry? Peace and blessings. Y'all check out Rebecca Lynch. She dropped her channel. Y'all check out, if y'all got channels, drop your channels. Let people know where you are. Svetlana, peace and blessings. Yep, germ theory is fake too. Yep, our immune system is regenerative and detoxification. Exactly, but if you say that too loud, you get silenced through algorithmic suppression or just removal. People don't even look at the obvious environmental toxicity and make the correlation between how that creates symptoms in your body. If they're putting poisons and heavy metals and smart dust and all kinds of stuff in the sky, you don't think that's going to have an effect on your body to cause symptoms? But the question, who's relabeling your symptoms? Who's labeling your systems? And when they label your systems, what doctrine are they using to interpret what's happening in you? And you have to trust that germ theory is true, which was created by Louis Pasteur, a chemist. So the whole medical field was based on a chemist called Louis Pasteur, who was a Freemason, by the way, who on his deathbed said that it was all a lie. Don't take my word for it. Do your research while you can. It's hard to find this information because most of the internet isn't real. It's been scrubbed, but some of it's there. I would go to Yandex, and use that browser to search most of this information because Google won't give you it. Amen, Shawana. We at war, but thanks be to God, we have a sword. Exactly. Our sword is the word of God. And the word of God warns you of all these lies and deceptions. What's going on? Axiom Descent, peace and blessing. Y'all definitely check out Axiom, man. Axiom's putting out content on content. Y'all check out his channel. Drop your channel, bro. Axiom Descent. Yeah, I only need my Bible too, but I just want to expose people about the deception of this world because there are some people who are confused. You know, at some point before we came to faith, we questioned things. But because there's not a lot of people speaking up, because you're not going to get 1 billion views telling the truth. And so the algorithm is controlling a lot of people to act as a distraction, a deflection from what's really happening in the world. What's going on, Tracy B? What's going on? What's going on, Kirk? Peace and blessings. Oh, you heard of my channel from Unplug 'em. Well, thanks to Unplug 'em and Brother Days and a lot of other people, man. I'm glad that they letting people know. So I just wanted to show you Internet of Bodies, right? So one of the issues with the artificial intelligence, Project Stargate. Matter of fact, let me pull up Project Stargate. Let's pull it up. Let's go to Open AI Project Stargate. Our bankrupt, poorly broke government invested $500 billion over the next 4 years building new artificial intelligence infrastructure for open AI in the United States. They will begin deploying $100 billion immediately. Everybody saw Sam Altman and all these other people. This infrastructure will secure American leadership in artificial intelligence, creating hundreds of thousands of American jobs at the expense of getting rid of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of jobs are going to be lost so that a few 100,000 can be replaced with these people who want to integrate with their technology. So get ready. If you want to be one of those hundreds of thousands of people, get ready to give up your brain so you can work that computer in Stargate. It's not going to be a traditional computer. It says generate massive economic benefit for society for the entire world. Who determines what's beneficial? Beneficial to us will be a lower cost of living, no property tax, the government getting out of our business and all that stuff. Not the government selling us out to a satanic technocratic society where we have no privacy. Everything is controlled, tracked, and traced through what Days of Noah introduced to me as panoptic surveillance. If you thought speed cameras were annoying, now they got artificial intelligence smart cameras. They're not only going to tell you how fast you were going, they're going to tell you what you were doing, what you were holding in your hand, how you were sitting in your chair. And eventually they're going to start measuring your heart rate, where your eyes are pointed, and you're going to start losing credits. You're going to be tokenized based on this smart technology. We saw what they did with the banning of incandescent bulbs. Now, I did see that Trump says he's going to allow people to get to incandescent bulbs. But the problem is the damage has already been done. The manufacturing of incandescent bulbs has already shrunk. The government is not going to support them. So giving people the freedom in a very small market is going to be very difficult. So hopefully people stocked up on incandescent bulbs, because LED light bulbs have camera. Some of them have cameras. Some of them are smart bulbs that give off signals that connect to devices that radiate you. The light is unhealthy for your eyes. It flickers. It creates all kinds of symptoms and issues in your body. And it can send you signals based on it being connected and influenced by computer signals. Yeah, halogen is definitely another type of LED. But then we already know that we've all driven. Halogen lights are very difficult on your eyes. It's like somebody having their high beams on all of the time, and it stresses your eyes out. I think that's a contributing factor of car accidents. The street lights and the car lights, they're causing people not to be focused, and it's all kinds of stuff going on. What's going on, Waxman? Diana, what's going on? Li-Fi, yeah, Li-Fi. That's going to be the next thing. Photonics, that's going to be a thing. Brother Days is going to do a lot of talks about these things. If you're buying a home, get a home with a fireplace. I know they're trying to electrify everything, that you only have electrics, because they want to electrify your house with smart technologies, not only so they can spy on you, collect data on you to see what you're doing, but they can cut you off if you're not in compliance. So if your whole house is electric and smart, and it's watching you every moment of everything you do, and if you do something they don't like, they can cut off your power and still spy on you. Now, keep in mind, a lot of these people, SoftBank, Oracle, these people are invested in mRNA technology. So we'll have to see what the role of AI and biotechnology will become. But look at this. As a part of Stargate, Oracle, NVIDIA, and OpenAI will closely collaborate to build and operate this computing system. This builds on a deep collaboration between OpenAI and NVIDIA going back to 2016, with a newer partnership between OpenAI and Oracle. All of us look forward to continuing to build and develop AI, in particular AGI, artificial general intelligence. So if you thought AI was bad, look up AGI, artificial general intelligence, for the benefit of all humanity. No, it's not. That's a lie. And they're promoting this as some kind of ethics, like as some kind of greater good. But only God is good. And this ontology is furthest away from God. And that's why Trump is building data centers, because he's going to convert everything we do into data to be tracked by artificial intelligence, to tokenize your identity. So remember, I told you the digital ID is going to be brain signals. From the government itself, they say that's the most secure. They want to turn your body activity data into a cryptocurrency to tokenize your identity, to see how much you're worth based on how well you comply, how well you obey. Let's go to Internet of Bodies. Now, I'm going to give you an example really quick. Now, let me go back here. Artificial pancreas. Brain-computer interfaces. Connect brain signals to type or control prosthetic limbs from the mind. a digital pill, track adherence and doses of medication, electronic health records. Did you get are you up to date? And you know what that means. And it's very interesting that they have a society where they create all these health problems through environmental causes and frequencies, and people having seizures and blood clots and strokes and heart attacks. And now they're going to provide technology as a false solution for their engineered problem. Like the problem wasn't caused by the very people who's offering the solution. I found that very interesting. See, this is what all the people talking about Elon Musk and Trump, they don't want to see this. All they think is we got a billionaire up there. He's not gonna help. He's gonna make sure you're doing what Klaus Schwab said. You're gonna own nothing. You're gonna be happy, because Klaus Schwab is owning Trump and Musk. So if you think that having somebody, the richest man in the world, is gonna make you more powerful and profitable, you're lost. They are working for the World Economic Forum, the WHO, United Nations, and all these other groups, the Rothschilds. And like Klaus Schwab said, you will own nothing and you will be happy if you're in this delusion. If you value personal autonomy and sovereignty, privacy, controlling your kids, your children, it's well overdue to pull your children out of the public school system. They should have never been in there. But they created an orchestrated society through corporatism and hyper individualism to destroy the biblical family dynamic, where people work as a unit, not to have to separate from their home and leave their people used to have children so they can raise their children, not so the public Rockefeller educational system raises their children, not so that corrupt daycares raise their children. This is where social engineering plays a part, where both men and women are become greedy and self-centered, and they forgot that they were supposed to be a helpmeet. God designed man and woman to be a helpmeet, not to compete with each other, not to exploit each other. But once sin entered the world, it also corrupted the people, both people. What is the Internet of Things? Let's check out the Internet of Things. Man, that wind is crazy out there. I don't know if y'all can hear it. The Internet of Things refers to a network of physical devices, vehicles, appliances, and other physical objects that are embedded with sensors, software, network connectivity data, allowing them to collect and share data. Hence, smart technology. They want you to have a smart refrigerator, smart dishwasher, smart oven, smart TVs, smart everything. They want everything to be smart. A smart workout equipment, smart chair, a smart vacuum. People don't even vacuum no more. They have little robots vacuuming your house now. What's going on, Jay Negron? It says IoT, Internet of Things devices, also known as smart objects. Remember, that's what I just said. Can range from simple smart home devices like smart thermostats to wearables like smart watches and RFID-enabled clothing, to complex industrial machinery and transportation systems. Technologists are even envisioning entire smart cities predicated on Internet of Things technology. This is what Elon is the face of. He is the puppet that's lying to the people to take over, to transition the government away from people to technology. That's why they put a transhumanist in the White House. How people didn't see that coming has to be cognitive dissonance. They put Satanists and transhumanists, which are one and the same, in the White House, and then people voted for them. Even though that's the selection process, they're going to say, "Well, we're giving you what you wanted," and clearly, a lot of people do worship them. Internet of Things enabled these smart devices to communicate with each other and with other internet-enabled devices. If you're wondering why they're sabotaging the food system, the farming is now corporate. So without egg shortage and now pasture-raised, grass-finished, grass-fed meat shortage, now they're going to have artificial intelligence monitoring your food supply. Your fake food supply. So they get rid of fake food. They get rid of real food to give you fake food. And now they give you fake intelligence or artificial intelligence to monitor fake food for fake people. The potential applications of Internet of Things are vast and varied, and its impact is already being felt across a wide range of industries, including manufacturing, transportation, healthcare. Every industry that they sabotage to fire millions of people only to replace them with the Internet of Things. Just like Elon Musk and Trump are doing with the government, getting rid of people to replace people with the Internet of Things. And under the Internet of Things, that's going to be private industry. So you're not going to be under, you're screwed either way. Web 3.0 technologies. Web 3.0 Foundation's mission is to nurture cutting-edge applications for decentralized web software protocols. It aims to deliver a centralized and fair internet, where users control their own data. What they're really saying is that you're going to be the data in the internet. The Web 3.0 will be the real metaverse, where you will be in the metaverse. So Web 3.0 is the actual final outcome of the metaverse. And you're going to have artificial intelligence controlling your data in this new internet that they're going to bring around. And they're going to connect this new internet to blockchain, and your digital identity, which is going to include all of you, is going to be connected. So basically, they're trying to turn your entire lifestyle into some kind of digital metaverse. Yeah, Unplug 'em is on YouTube. So y'all check out, on Rumble. So y'all check out Brother Unplug 'em on Rumble. Somebody want to drop his channel, y'all can. It's on Rumble. Oh, Jay Negron says, if someone else working on your following Christ channel. No, they send stuff delayed. All my content on all my channels is suppressed. So if I did a live, some people won't get notified until like 2 or 3, 4 hours, or maybe 12 hours later. Some people won't get notified at all. They delete comments. They delete a lot of stuff. So it's just my channel and a few other channels that they do this to. But definitely do it to my channel. G Laro, what's going on? Just like with the real ID. The real ID is just a stepping stone to the full biometrics biological identification, what might include your neural activity or any wearable technology, connecting you to the financial institutions so they can track you and tokenize your existence. What's going on, Cheryl Martin? Peace and blessings. Ethan Flores, what's going on? He says that's him. He just found me live. Yeah, you had to find me. People are wondering what's going on. I don't get your stuff. Are you still on YouTube? Yeah, I am. I'm under algorithmic suppression. I'm probably on a list. And it's just a whole bunch of stuff. Shawana says, I noticed I can no longer comment on your backup channel shorts for some reason. Huh. You see that? You can't comment on my backup channel shorts, which are about Jesus. So stop believing people like Candace Owens, who's growing exponentially, who's a political pundit, a control opposition of the same satanic system. They tell, oh, I'm canceled, I'm shadow banned. No, they're not. They're not. None of those people are shadow banned. They're just saying that. But here we got real people who can't comment, who can't hit the like button, who don't see my content. And I expect it because I know that the truth is what this world is afraid of. Because we preach the truth of Christ, which exposes that everything in the world is a deception. And a deception means even if it sounds good, it has nefarious intent and motive that will be revealed eventually. And that's what the political system is doing. People think that Trump's going to fix things, but he's not. He's going to accelerate the evils that are already working in the world. But I appreciate y'all. Thank you all for your fellowship. Thank you all for hitting the like button, for joining me, for subbing to the channel, for all your support, your encouragement, your edification. No, Candace is talking about, she's just trolling. She's like, and shout out to Brother Days, we talk about this. She's like a tabloid person. She doesn't even talk about the real thing. She doesn't talk about Stargate. She won't bring up what her president is doing. Her job was to promote him and get him in office and gaslight everything he does. But when it comes to Stargate, when it comes to the firing of all these people and spending money, okay, the money went from Ukraine to artificial intelligence. What's the difference? It's a waste, is a waste, is a waste. That's not going to help people. But Candace is connected to she's married to the British aristocracy. She's married to somebody within the satanic system who's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. She can care less. Thank you, Shawana. She just dropped on Plugum's Rumble channel. What's going on, YB? Peace and blessings. So for those who were late, I'm going to play this again. Uh-oh. I can't play. I forgot I got to go through. I'm going to play the trailer that I wanted that didn't play. I'm going to play it one more time before we get up on out of here, y'all. But I might go live on my backup channel later today around 10 o'clock. So y'all, I'll let you know if I do. This is on my Rumble channel.
Identity.
And office. We have had a tremendous success.
Yeah. Just you, if you.
But
hold on, let me start at the beginning.
But can you imagine that in 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brains, and I can immediately feel, because you all will have implants, and we measure your brain waves, and I can immediately tell you how the people react, or I can feel how the people react to your answers. Is it imaginable?
The difference of this fourth industrial revolution is it doesn't change what you are doing. It changes you. If you take a genetic editing, just as an example. It's you who are change. And of course, this has a big impact on your identity.
And office.
We have had a tremendous success.
Great success.
And this gentleman, as you know, he's done a great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now you all see that, right? That's on my Rumble channel. So I just want, man, we saw a lot today, man, a lot from the government itself. Here's my backup channel where I might be live later. Hold up, one more second. Let me try one more time. Oh, man, what happened? All right, give me 1 second, y'all. 1 second. All right, there we go. Hopefully that worked. What's going on, Chris G, Simon, or Simone, Allison? You said he makes you think of the German guy, Indiana Jones. Exactly, he is. But I appreciate y'all coming through, man. Not one iota. What's going on? I just wanted to tell you that the end game to Project Stargate is not going to help you in your real life. This is the worst case scenario for this system. You know, this world started off with moral bankruptcy, right? And the reason why it was facilitated through government, social engineering, where they gave you over-sexualized society and violence, because moral bankruptcy feeds the sin nature. And when you feed the sin nature, people move further and further away from the image of God. And the purpose of that is so that people could progress to where we are now, transhumanism. Because remember, trans LGBT stuff was just a progression that will naturally lead to transhumanism. But they couldn't go from the God's image, man and woman, to transhumanism. So what they did is they fed the sin nature, where men and women started to hate their own nature because they have a reprobate mind. They turned the truth of God into a lie. When they knew God, they didn't worship him as God. Basically, all of Romans 1, right? Read Romans 1, starting at verse 18 through 30. When they knew God, they didn't worship him as God. Neither were they thankful, but became vain, and their imaginations and their foolish heart was darkened. They turned they turned the image of the uncorruptible God into an image unto corruptible man. They created a God of their imagination. And as a result of that, it led them to exactly where we are today. Spiritually dead people think Project Stargate is going to help them. They think blockchain is going to benefit them, and it's not. The progression of all of this will lead to the mark of the beast system. If you read the Bible makes it clear. So on that note, I'm gonna get up on out of here. Appreciate that, Shannon Brown. Appreciate that. Chad Hurry, what's going on? Appreciate y'all. Yeah, spend time with Jesus in his word, prayer, and fasting. Thank God for this day. Thank God for just waking up, being in your right mind. We don't have to be here to complain. So just being here is the goodness of God. And he allows us to be here so we can see his love. Seek him while he may be found. Receive redemption and salvation through what he's given as a free gift to those who believe and accept the truth of them being sinners and seeing Jesus Christ as Savior. Everything in your life has a purpose to lead you to Christ. What a waste would it be to perish in spite of what your life reveals to you and how much we are dependent on the love of God. God wanted to show you his love, that he gave us a level of freedom within his sovereignty just so we can see how much we need him to his glory. And the same freedom that we use to rebel, God allows us to believe, to place our faith in him, that we can be regenerated by a spirit, that we can love him and be in fellowship with him. And once you love God biblically, you can love one another with the same love. And we can endure to the end. We can insulate ourselves from whatever this world is doing. Preach the truth to save those whom God has called and drawing to him. We have to be in position. Preach the gospel. Offer your testimony. Preach the word to convict the conscience of those whose conscience is not seared with a hot iron. So on that note, I'm out of here, y'all. I appreciate y'all coming through. Please hit the like button if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel. We got many more lives like this. Look for me later today, maybe on my backup channel. I'm gonna go into some deep biblical topics, and all that stuff. I appreciate y'all coming through, man. I really do. So on that note, peace and blessings. I might play a little music on the way. I'm looking at that. I see a message, Simone. You said talk about the Holy Spirit. All right, we'll do. I'll work on that. What else? Let me see. All right, I'm out of here. Peace and blessings. Catch y'all maybe later tonight on my backup channel. Peace. Oh yeah, check out the Speak Uneasy. He's going live at 6 Eastern Standard Time. His channel is posted by Rebecca Lynn. So y'all check out the Speak Uneasy. All right, peace and blessings.